and we just and being used and being loved and appreciated, and just I'm just excited. I'm just literally thrilled for this happening, So, and how this now we see trace our family members being on Office Cafe. So, I'm gonna get started. I'm not gonna waste your time because it's really about y'all celebrating your story, celebrating your journey, things like that. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce each author. Read their bio, introduce them to you. Then they're gonna share their offer. They're gonna share their story. They're gonna share your story, however ways you want to share it. So you can sing, dance, do poetry, how you want to do it. As you present, we're gonna take a maximum of 2 or 3 questions, or a maximum of 3 comments, because we want to keep it moving. So we have 8 offers here. We're gonna do the first 4, take another break, then follow the last 4. So I'm gonna be mindful of people's time, and I don't want to be long dragged out. We'll take 2 or 3 comments. You got a question for that direct offer, you can specifically put it in chat and just message them directly. So because we're here to celebrate, we're here to come together to celebrate literacy, to celebrate writing, to celebrate reading, and celebrate your gift and your purpose, and it's putting your story out there. So I am excited. I am excited. So if y'all ready, y'all can give me a thumbs up in the chat or put a heart on the thing. Because I don't want to go too long, because this is really a touching for me, because I grew up, I hated reading growing up. I hate reading out loud in front of people, So and every time, and somehow, some way, I was pushed to write a book, and now, called Release almost 9 years ago, and now I'm here doing Office Cafe with some of my never we're doing. But I love what I do. I love giving back. I love giving people opportunity to share their book and be a part of this movement. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce my first author. Her name is Shaniqua Horton. I know I'm going to read her bio and then give it to her. So Shaniqua, I'll let you know. People like log on while he presents. Just a lot of men. So I'll let you know. And people jump on, the Zoom. So Shaniqua Horton is 27 years old. She's formerly an educational specialist. She provides IEP support with a focus on delivering detailed information on the basis of the special education process and clear understanding of the IEP process. She's a graduate of psychology from West Virginia Union University. She is currently obtaining a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology. Her authentic voice is advocating for children in public housing for disadvantaged neighborhoods, flows through this type of literature she creates and is heard throughout every page of her new book, Summer Housing Boy, Short Stories of a City Kid and Kids to Professional Coloring Book. So let's welcome our first author of anniversary, Miss Shaniqua Horton.
Hi, everyone. Levon, while I do my introduction or so, could you allow me screen sharing access? Okay. So I am thrilled and honored to be on Authors Cafe. It took me some time to get things together that I could actually make this event. So it's actually an amazing feeling to be here, and thank you, Levon. So my name is Shaniqua Horton. Recently, I moved to Philadelphia for graduate school. So I attend LaSalle University, and during this time, while I was in Philadelphia, I met so many different entrepreneurs that published their own books, self-published authors. And it really gave me the courage to do it myself. I said, if this person is doing it, I could definitely do it, right? So I decided to write about my story. So Summer Housing Boy is a publishing company about children who grow up in public housing. A lot of times we don't have books cater to students who live in public housing or lower income neighborhoods. It's not really something that is celebrated, right? So something that I decided to do is give children this gift of the setting, the environment that they grow up in, and that their characters that look like them would be able to go along their journey. So I'm going to do a short presentation. So this is, okay, it's supposed to be in present mode. Awesome. Okay. So this is a little bit about myself, yada, yada, right? So this is a portion of my life. I was privileged to have my parents give me the opportunity to travel. I also played Division II basketball, Division II volleyball. But when I came back and I did everything, I still felt like I was not complete. Like I was supposed to still do something for my community. So this is where Summer Housing Boy came into play, right? So why did I create this children's book? Summer Housing Boy is for the children that are unrepresented, the children that don't see themselves, their skin tones, their colors, their neighborhoods, their building in children's books, right? So I want them to resonate with someone, a character in the children's book, and feel empowered, feel proud about themselves, and also read about the trajectory of another little boy that they could see themselves in. Okay, so these are another two of my characters. I'm sorry, this is actually the main character. His name is Tyreek, and his dog's name is Pancha. So, and then this is one of the other characters here. Let me move this out the way. His name is John, right? His favorite subject is science, and he wants to be a chemist when he grows older. And this is another character. Her name is Imani, and she wants to be an athlete, right? So a lot of what goes on to Summer Housing Boy is each child has their own trajectory, and they want to become something when they get older. So throughout the books, you'll see what each child does to attain their goals. Okay, so the next slide is, oh, sorry. So currently I have Summer Housing Boy, which is the original book, and then there's a coloring book, From Kids to Professionals, right? So From Kids to Professionals is a coloring book that has a written story as well as drawings that kids can draw in and see the life of another young boy or girl that looks just like them. What I love about From Kids to Professionals is that each character has their own skin tone that they can be proud of, right? So we have different ranges of skin tones, but we also have children who are striving for other careers, okay? So this is basically my synopsis about Summer Housing Boy. Summer Housing Boy is a brand, and Summer Housing Boy is to empower children who grow up in lower income neighborhoods. This is my website, housingboy.com, and Summer Housing Boy is available on Amazon. And the coloring book is not on Amazon currently, it's just on housingboy.com, okay? So, does anyone have any questions? It's fine if you don't. Questions? Okay, so if anyone doesn't have any questions, again, my name is Shaniqua Horton, formerly Shaniqua Lewis. I'm very happy that I was able to join and present to you all Summer Housing Boy and the children's characters that I developed in my brain and presented to you. So I'm done.
Wonderful. So, Shaniqua, may I ask you a question? Are you planning to come out with a second book?
So there's going to be, it's going to be seasonal. So there's going to be Winter Housing Boy, Spring Housing Boy, Fall Housing Boy. But the second book is the From Kids to Professionals, the coloring book, where it shows each child what they want to do when they grow up. And your child can follow along in color and then read the story as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's awesome. That's awesome. Basically, it's a book for our young generation. You know, there's someone they can relate to, so that they're not alone. That everyone's story is unique. You know,
absolutely, and it's necessary to be heard.
Right, exactly. Especially generation now, you can't be silent anymore. You gotta make your voice heard. You know, and all because you never know who you're impacting with your story, with your journey. So I think that's very, very important. So
I'm sorry. One thing, Levon, one thing that I forgot to share. So why this is so important to me, not sure if I shared this, but is because I grew up in public housing. So I understood the dynamics of public housing. My family, also a generation before me, grew up in public housing as well, and then moved. But I've always had a certain connection to my community where I've always wanted to do more. So Summer Housing Boy is just the beginning. It's just me writing and getting people aware of children in public housing, that they should not push them aside or make them feel like they're less than, but they're able to connect with a character. Maybe they've never met someone who came from public housing, or maybe they don't know how to interact. So now they have this children's book that they can give to their child and understand, like, oh, this child is no different than me. He has the same interests as me. He has a pet dog and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's it. I can't hear you, Levon.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome, because it's something that you related to yourself. You know, I think all of us have a comment that we wrote a story or book based on how we grew up, how we developed ourselves, how we became our best selves, and how the environment make us the person that we are today. I think that's very, very, very important. You know, very concrete, and again, it's about being vulnerable, being transparent, and being honest. You know, because you never know who you impact. You never know who you make a difference to a person. You know, so I think that's very important. So I have your website. I'm gonna check out your website about that, because I think what you're doing is definitely needed. I think it's very essential, because you saying you have different seasons. I think that's uniquely different as well. I think that's very creative as well. You know, so different phases of how our youth are developing, how they grow and develop. You know, because each season they change. They might grow a little bit. They mindset a little different. You know, I think that's very, very important. I think that the progress of that each season. You know, so because the kid's not going to act the same from summer to fall.
Absolutely, they have different experiences.
They're different. They're gonna grow a little bit. They're gonna make sure they're gonna grow a little bit. They're gonna develop a little more
activities.
So, yes, exactly. So again, thank you, Shaniqua, for that. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for keeping this off. I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much. So you put me back as host, right? Or you still on there? I'm not sure.
Let me take myself off. I think even if I am a host and you're a host, you'll still be able to.
Okay, I'll make sure. So I'll make sure, you know. So, all right. So I hope any questions, like I say, you could direct message her in the chat. Yeah, any personal questions, you want to buy a book, you know, you could direct message her on that as well. So our next offer. So she is one of my mentees that I've worked with for almost about 3 years. You know, and she's been very active in my organization, Path to Greatness. She's helping me right now. She co-facilitate workshops on Tuesdays for the summer with some of our kids of summer on relationships and friendships. So I'm going to introduce her. Her name is Miss Nyasia Griffin. All right. So I'm going to read her bio. Nyasia is a natural-born poet, and authors a book about her life, captured through her lens. Nyasia was born and raised in Philadelphia. She's a graduate of Martin Luther King High School. She's now a junior college student at LaSalle University. She was sponsored to write her first book for Forgotten Petals for poetry, and it was sparked one night while performing at a poetry cafe on campus. Nyasia broke several generational curses, and throughout her book, she wanted to tell a story from how she interpreted it, not from the eyes and mouths of others around her. The author is looking forward to becoming a first generational graduate with a bachelor's degree in psychology. She continues to write and share collective creative ideas with youth and young adults in her community. The author lives by this motto: "This is not the end; it's just the beginning." So let's welcome my mentee, my second author, Miss Nyasia Griffin.
Hey everybody, my name is Nyasia Griffin. I'm 20 years old and I attend LaSalle University and I'm getting my bachelor's degree in psychology. But I wrote my book, Forgotten Petals. It's about my life and just kind of an awareness to children that were abandoned by their parents, or in my story particular, me and my twin sister, we had our parents, but we were kind of like readopted by someone that was in the family. So my great grandmother and her daughter, which is my aunt, and it's a basically an autobiography of just everything that kind of happened in my life, the struggles, the fears, the going to school, not having parents pick you up all the time, just all of those things. And I kind of just tell multiple stories, but I wrote my book based on my poetry at first because I had trouble writing a book, right? It's kind of hard, but it took me about a year. I started writing when COVID hit. That's when I really started writing, and I was done in about May 2020. And if you do want to get a book or purchase, I'm on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Asia Blue. My book is currently not on. Thank you. My book is currently not on Amazon or any online things, but when it does drop, I will be informing everyone because they can pick up a paperback or they can get an ebook as well. So I will be letting people know. I didn't want to kind of give too much of the book, but that's my book. Thank you.
So Nyasia, I'm very proud of you for writing the book, especially during COVID, put your story out there with your twin sister, having your twin sister. So, man, so you can put you on the spot. Um, do you have a poem that you want to share with us that's from the book that you can recite to us?
I don't want to give too much. You got to get the book to get the poetry.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry I have to ask that question. I put on your spot. You're getting a lot of comments saying that's beautiful. That's congratulations. I think that's very, very awesome. And like I said, I told you before many times, I'm proud of you for doing that. Plus, you're about to be a junior. You're about to be a college graduate. I speak that into you. You're going to continue to do great things and break so many trails and for young people to follow behind you because you broke the cycle, you broke the generational curse, and I think that is very, very powerful, especially this generation, to speak, have their own voice, to use it in a platform where it's positive that it can help someone else. It can break that ground to someone else. Like I said, I am very proud of you. Like once you get put on the website, Amazon, we will definitely promote it because you have a story to share, and so I really want you to understand that I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I'm also selling books personally myself, so yeah, you can just get in touch with me. I'll put my information in the chat box. But thank y'all. Thank everybody.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, hold on 1 second, guys. I think someone. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, so that was Nyasia. That was my mentee. She's doing extraordinary things, and we're trying to figure out why one of my guests is not getting in the room. So hopefully we can figure this out. I think she's an iPhone, trying to figure it out what's going on. So but hopefully we get that win, So so my next offer, she's a life coach. She's an author, motivational speaker, therapist. I don't know, so many titles. Been helping my life over the past year and a half, and my journey, my growth. Professional needs, so personally as well. And she has helped so many women and men get to where they should be in life, and help them find their purpose, help them find their voice. And so you probably know who she is, but some of you who don't know will get to know it today. Her name is Miss Focus James. So I'm gonna read her bio that she sent me. I still have it. So since her playground days in elementary school, Focus has been speaking up for the underdog. For all the years, her passion for the youth and development and children and young adults compelled to earn a degree in early childhood education, where her passion, education, and experience focus and speak to a little girl or boy that is inside each of us. She wanted a further education by receiving a degree in communication, theater, broadcast, and journalism. This has led her to become a master of communications and enhance her ability to hear beyond spoken words, breathing life into untold stories. Her latest accomplishment is receiving a certification as a transformational life coach, teacher, trainer, and speaker for the world-renowned John C. Maxwell's team. The John C. Maxwell organization is one producer of leaders and coaches worldwide. Additionally, she received a speaker certificate awarded by Inspired to Speak, a program organized by expert storyteller Les Brown and expert motivator James Dentley. Where extensive training in coaching and leadership, dynamic engaging speaking abilities, compassion, and drive, Focus will help you prepare your life to forward to your desired destination. With Focus as your coach, teacher, and trainer, you'll be able to have a life you love, can create the skills needed on your highest frequency, and build core beliefs and habits that serve your highest being. With our dynamic curriculum, your organization will be astonished at its own ability to achieve what you have been longing to do. Let the journey begin. So let's welcome in Miss Focus James.
Let the journey begin. Hi, everyone. Let me see who's in the room. Thank you, Shaniqua. Guys, let me see your beautiful faces. Take yourself off of mute, off of the camera. And hi, Ty. How are you? Jose, we got a man in the house besides Levon. I love the energy. Bring it. We got Leah, Jazmine. Hi, how you doing? Nasai, did I say it right? Miss Griffin, how are you? Hey, Jose, how are you guys doing? So it looks like all of us are here are authors. Is that correct? Give me a thumbs up if you're an author. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, got it. So we got all authors here. Awesome. Congratulations. Was that an amazing feeling? To get your story out of your head so others can read it, right? To get your story out your head so others can read that story. Wasn't that an amazing feeling to be able to get that down? So I'm going to take off my presenter's hat of purchasing my book, and I'm going to put on a different hat right now. I'm going to put an author's coaching hat because all of us in the room. So we're going to shift this little next 9 minutes I have to a different delivery. And here's what I want to deliver for you. And that is to be able to get in front of the right audience, to get in front of the right audience that's ready to buy your book. Who's up to that, right? You want to be in front of the person that's interested in your story, right? And then when you get in front of them, how do you deliver them? How do you get them excited about, hey, Fatima, how do you get Miss Howard? How do you get in front of them and then get them excited about wanting to purchase your book without what the young lady said, giving it away? So you want to get enough for them to get juiced up. Because here's the key thing. If you're taking notes, which everyone should be taking notes, right? Because we respect a short pencil than a long memory anytime, right? So get your pencils out. You want to write this down and you want to get people excited. How do you do that? We crave for completion. We crave for completion. So you start a conversation and say, it's 5 nuggets I want to give you, 5 tools you're going to learn out of my book. You're going to have 3 aha moments out of my book. I'm going to give you one today. So that creates the desire to get the other 2, 3, 4 nuggets, right? You guys are with me? So you want to give enough to make them curious about getting your book, right? And make them interested in wanting more. We all love that sitcom, that soap opera at the end where she walk in the room and the gun is pointing to them. Or they're about to kiss, but then it goes to be continued, right? So you are pinned down next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I know I'm telling my age now. Nobody waits for a show, right? Everything you binge watch. But back in the day, you actually had to wait till next Tuesday to see Good Times, okay? It wasn't coming on back to back. Sorry for all those millennials who don't even know what that is. They like, wait, what? So being able to get in front of your audience, when you're in front of them, you got 10 minutes to sell this book, right? So they definitely want to hear your story, but we want lots of adjectives. We want lots of aha moments to go, I got to get that book. Then the next question is, what's next? So they bought the book, they got their credit card out, they spent their $10, $15, $20. Where do you take them from here? Do you have another product to sell them? Are they now going to be your coach? Are you going to be their coach? Are you now upgrading them to a speaking engagement, right? Where they actually, you go on their podcast, their church. What's next is the biggest clue for biggest, kind of block for a lot of entrepreneurs. So you sold that pocketbook, that beautiful dress, you did that hair one time, but you have a customer with a credit card in hand. We want to build that relationship and get it going even more. Now, I just happen to be this lovely couple, Fatima and Levon's business coach. I started off as Levon's life and love coach. We did a session or 2 and he was like, focus, I'm a good man. I love God, but the ladies, you got to help me out, focus, right? We did a few sessions and he got the confidence to DM Fatima, slid in her DMs and surprise. He was like, oh my God, this woman here, right? So I'm just like, go for it. And he so went for it, dated her for 9 months. Let's Coach Proctor put up video on for that. She said, I'm on for this. Wait a minute, let me come back on. And he dated her for 9 months. And then January 1 proposed to her. Let's give them a hand clap for that, guys. That's something. All through COVID, right? All through COVID. And then got engaged and then married on March 25th. And now they also brought me on as their business coach now. So now we have, because if you know Fatima and you know Levon, they both are entrepreneurs. They both have a job. And what I wanted to create as their business coach is something that gives them synergy, something that brings their marriage to be first, right? Because I'm a love and life coach. So, I'm always in there giving those nuggets, as Levon said, right? But also I wanted them to create something they can work on together. And it's called Hanging with the Howards. If you haven't saw their YouTube channel, you want to, when you get off of here, subscribe and watch their beautiful wedding. We had over, how many people watched the wedding, Levon? And on that day, it was like 150 people logged on.
It was like over like 1,000 views.
Yes. The amount of people that viewed it, it was a sensation, and they got to show Black love, which if you know Levon, that's so important to him to show community and love. Fatima that's a whole pack of ribs right there. Okay, she came in, not just one rib, right? She is right behind them, right running with them with their entrepreneurship and just makes and completes them, right? So what is next? So if someone bought your book today, if we had 30 people on here, they bought your book, what's next? You don't want to just leave that $10, $15, $20 there. Your book should just simply be your business card. It's a large business card. It is enough to get people interested in your next level product or service. That's the point of a book. So this first book I wrote, 90 Days, coming out of Les Brown's event, which was a speaker's boot camp. And it's called What is the Focus of Love? And he said, focus, people need to take you home. So I wrote 10 chapters talking about communication. One of them here is talk about scrumptious love. Who in here married? Give me some hand raises. Okay, good stuff. Who's in here dating that's looking for love? Let me see. Who's all the way live single and happy about it, not even looking? Who's that? I knew that was you, Coach Proctor. I knew that was you gonna raise your hand. It is something. All right, Leah. It's something in here for all of us, because guess what? The number one relationship is who we have the number one relationship. That's right, Coach Proctor, ourselves first, right? and then other people. So even if it's not a romantic relationship, how do you relate to other people matters. That's also going to be the difference between moving your book and selling it and people just saying, oh, that's nice. That I do not like those words when somebody say to me, oh, that's nice. Oh, I didn't shake up the room. I didn't say anything profound. I didn't move their soul if they saying that's nice, right? That's what you say to a grandmom that gave everybody a mint at church. Oh, that's so nice, right? No, I went through too much pain, too much trauma in my life to sit down and took as long as I took the money I spent for them to go, oh, that's nice. So I got to check myself and my fire and my desire to deliver as someone just saying, oh, that's nice, right? You want them to be moved, touched, and inspired. So if you're listening to me, you saying focus, I would love to learn how to do that. So I have a special offer because of the offers being here today, and it's called Create Your Virtual Business Masterclass. It is a 3-hour class on Zoom. So I'm offering it to each one of you as an author because you're part of Levon Village, if you will. The regular rate is normally $399. It's from 10 to 1 on July 31st. But today, by the end of this week, you can let me know and go, hey, Focus, I want to be a part of it. And you get that package for $299. $299. I'm taking $100 off because you're in the building. So if you're trying to figure out, I'm selling books, Focus, but they already got their credit card in their hand. It got to be another way to build relationship for me to serve them on the next level or get paid for public speaking. Who would love if Levon was cash apping you about $200 right after this? Who would let it? Levon, you cash app? You got my cash app, right? No, I'm having fun with y'all. But right, who would love to be able to get paid to speak? I do that on a regular. A young lady hired me to speak about love and give each one of the ladies in her birthday party, 10 ladies in Michigan, right? I'm in Pennsylvania. I got paid in Michigan to go on Zoom, give them all an e-copy, right? And then I did a 30-minute session with them individually and getting clients from that. So what's next? Now that you got your book out of your head so it can be read, what's next? And that's what you're going to learn in that course. I'm going to hit send right now in the chat. So you'll see the breakdown of the course. It's called Create Your Business with Focus. The word focus stands with follow one course until successful. Write that down if you're taking notes. Follow one course until successful. What you saw was there's a student in here. I heard somebody say they're going to college or coming out of college. You message me directly and I'll give you a student discount. Unless you're doing real good at 21 Forever. If you're working part-time, then that price for you too. But if you're a student and you need some help, or you're dealing with COVID and you need some help, because I believe when I bless God's people, he'll bless me. All right. And let me know that too. You go away, Focus. I wish I would pay the $299. I would love to. I just don't have it because, and let's talk about it and work around that. Now, don't be stealing. If you know you got that money and it's in the bank, that's not for you. Don't you text me talking about, Focus. What had happened was, them red bottom shoes, I did get them. So now I can't afford it. That don't count, right? We'll talk about finances in that course as well. So it's been my plum pleasing pleasure, guys. It's been such a blessing in this journey. I'm full-time 2 years now. Not only do I sell these books, which is my business, thank you, Fatima, which is my business card and open up conversations. I have 6 streams of income. One is public speaking. I'm a love and life coach. That's another stream of income. I'm a business coach. I'm an investor in real estate and a couple of other things. So you want to diversify. Just keep remembering. If you don't remember anything else, this is simply your large business card. What next? Because you can upgrade every purchase. You can make $10. You can make 100. You can make 100. You can make 1,000. And you got the point, right? So my name is Focus from the Focus of Love. It's been my plum pleasing pleasure looking at all you beautiful faces, and I continue to listen and learn as well. Look to talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Wow, Focus coming with that energy, that passion, and also that nuggets too, gems help us go to the next level. So did anyone have any questions or comments that what she said? Maybe she could direct message her on the chat, because she gave some good nuggets about what she's doing and also how to monetize from your book and make sure that it takes your one book to a whole level that you never thought about doing. So So I thought about that too, you know. So thinking about, you know, public speaking and taking one of my books and actually going on tour, you know, just actually talk about release, my first release, you know, and talk to young people to how release about themselves and figure out who they are, you know. So I know how to put it together. So, but it's inspirational. Like you said, Focus has been over for a year and a half now, and she's seeing a lot of growth in me personally. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. So I'm way not complete yet. So it's a learning process.
But I's married now.
Yeah, I'm married now. I'm married now, but it's like kind of we relearn yourself and like letting go of those certain things and learning go that one part of your life that was part of your life for a long time, and now embraces new life and embracing instead of I, you know. So that's it's still a learning process for me. So you can you know, so I know I get my wife's head nerves like constantly, so I'm still learning how to so I'm learning. I'm learning. It's not like I'm learning. I take steps back, but I get back up. You know.
Well, let me ask a question, Levon. Let me ask a question to the group real quick. Since it looked like no one actually had a question, who's looking to grow in public speaking area, right? You really want to narrow down. Thank you, Coach. You really want to package your story of how to deliver your book. Who's that's looking to grow in that area? Or you might feel like, hey, I mastered that already, Focus. Every time I get in front of people, I sell my books. I move them to my next event. I upsell them to something else. Who's that? Let me ask that differently then. Who already feels like you mastered that? You're like, I'm going to sell my book wherever I go. Anybody? Okay, wonderful. So that's also something that I offer, which is a public speaking boot camp as well. So if you want to really package your story, or you feel like you're saying a whole lot of you don't know what to say, maybe you feel overwhelmed because you have so many amazing stories, and you're like, which do I tell and how do I know when to tell, right? And that matters too. Definitely you can reach out to me. I've just dropped my website in there, focusjames.com. Oh, I misspelled my name. I'll redo that for you. Focusjames.com. You can put that in there and go, hey, Focus, I need some support in that too. So I also offer a boot camp for that as well. So we can literally package your particular story. And I do that one-on-one. So I'll hear you and we'll go back and forth and I'll teach you what to say and how to put it together. It's a 2-for-1 because you literally get the recording of the Zoom and I send it to you so you can continue to review it. Okay. Awesome, guys. All right. I'll turn it back over to you, Levon.
All right, wonderful. Like you said, I went for this public speaking boot camp last summer. Miss Adrian, she on here too. Adrian on there too. So yeah, so that was a great experience. And there you go. No, it's still wrong. The website's still wrong. You got the S. You won't.
I'm be honest with you guys. My cleaner was supposed to come and clean the refrigerator and all like that. She ran late. Me and my daughter did it for the first time and we wore out. We are wore out. I said, look, I'm going to give her a bigger tip next time. I was taking her for granted and I liked the tip, but I was like, oh my Lord, I got to bless her more. So pardon me, I'm distracted. So let me go ahead and do that correctly. Thanks for your patience. All right, there we go. I got it right.
There you go. Yeah, you had the A for the S. That's what. Yeah. So, like I said, Focus is a great business coach, a great friend supporter. So, you need anything, you know someone that might benefit for this program, have them on your way. You know, so you may feel you know someone that you feel they can go to the next level with their books or their speaking. Go to her. You know, so that's very, very important. So. With that being said, before we're going to have introduce our fourth author, and then after her, we'll take a little break. You know, then we'll go back to our second half, Office Cafe 30. In between, I'm going to play a classic clip from one of Office Cafes. That's not that long, so basically one of the speakers speaking, and she was really, really good. Really inspired me in that Office Cafe. So the next offer I'm introducing today is Miss Shaunte L. Proctor. All right, so she did Office Cafe with me before, and she come back again. Shaunte is a dynamic speaker, author, poet, and entrepreneur. Shaunte is destined to lead women out of dark places of their lives and help them break free from the cycle of merely existing or boldly thriving. to boldly thriving. Shaunte empowers women to attain the goals they have set, be productive, and simply enjoy life again. She is a free-time author of healing writings that soothe the soul, a collection of poems, short stories of joy writings, a contributing author in I Win, how to get your dreams from your head to your hands, a love triangle, me, God, and my man. And now she's a full-time author with her new book, How to Survive, Thrive, and Boss Up After a Breakup. She knows that her purpose is to help women to enjoy the freedom of knowing, being, and loving who they are. Shaunte is from Philadelphia. She has 2 sons and 5 wonderful grandchildren. So let's welcome Miss Shaunte L. Proctor.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I had a feeling, Levon, that you was gonna have me come after Miss Focus. I was like, oh goodness, you got me all hyped up. I'm chilling today on a Saturday. I'm home, and I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. And then here you come. This is amazing. I actually met Levon. I think I was doing spoken word poetry, and it just seemed like after that we just kept connecting. And, he's like, Shaunte, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? So I just want to say to you, Focus, Levon, your growth is amazing. And I even remember when you took that boot camp. I was so proud of you. And also I want to say congratulations personally to you and your wife, Fatima. I probably said it on social media, but I just want to say it now. So I'm super excited. You're welcome. I'm reading lips. So I'm super excited to be here. I see some amazing authors on here. And the young lady, what's Nyasia? That the young lady? Congratulations on your book. I'm happy for you. It's an amazing journey. I see a lot of people. Let me see, because I can't really read. I'm on my phone, so I had to write the names down. Do I have is Tia, Shaniqua, Jazmine, Nyasia, Jose. We got Fatima, Leah, Miss Focus, and then we got an iPhone person. Hi, iPhone. I don't know your name, but how you doing? So I'm happy to be here. You're welcome. I see it. You're welcome. So yes, I am an author. I am a certified life coach as well. And that wasn't in my bio, I think, when I sent it over to you. I'm an author. Obviously, I'm a speaker. And this book right here, this is my baby. I think they all are my babies for different reasons, but this book, How to Survive, Thrive, and Boss Up After a Breakup, is my baby. Now, we got a lot of people on this line, and how many of y'all, can y'all raise your hand? Let me know how many of y'all have been through a heart-wrenching breakup. Can I get, see, I know, wait a minute, I'm scrolling my phone. Okay, I see y'all. I know I'm not by myself. Heartbreak is horrible. If anybody says to me, what is the one thing that you hate? I would absolutely say going through a heartbreak. Like, it's just horrible. Like, I never, ever want to go through a breakup again. So this book actually was written because I was in the process of breaking up with someone who I thought I was going to marry. And although I was in the process of that breakup, I felt like I knew I was going to come out. I didn't feel like I was going to come out, but I knew I was going to come out. So what I did was I documented the process. So in documenting the process, I'm like, you know what? This is so horrible. I don't want nobody else to have to go through this crap. So I'm going to show them how they cannot go through this crap because I don't went through it for everybody enough. I am let's say I was a serial monogamous. I was a serial dater, ex-love addict, not a sex addict, but an ex-love addict. So it's honestly, I really did write the book on it, right? So here's my book. In the back, I do, I list 12 steps to freedom. And that's the actual steps that I use to come through the process, as well as coaching other people on how to come out of the process. I wrote the book and read it again and was like, you wrote that, Shaunte? Like, I was like, what? And I'm thinking, I was in it. You ever write from a place and you in it when you're writing? So when you go back, you're like, whoa. I talk about childhood trauma. I talk about core root issues. I talk about, this is not just, okay, let me help you get through. This is, let me help you get through and also bring awareness to some other areas in your life so that we don't continue to repeat this cycle. So it's like, yeah, I want book sales and all that's great. But the biggest thing for me is to get the message out, right? I am going to share a couple of the steps in my 12 steps. But I do want to tell you, like I said, I'm a certified life coach. So my masterclass, Levon, is coming out this month, okay? It's called it's how to boss up after a breakup. So I'm sharing the 3 steps on how to boss up after a breakup. That's the masterclass. And the actual coaching, 12 weeks. I'm doing 12 weeks on how to survive, thrive, and boss up after a breakup. It's a 12-week group coaching session. That's actually coming out in September. So I'll have that information. My website is in the process of being built. I am on Instagram, Shaunte Proctor Life Coach. So that's just some information about me. I also post where you can get the book for now until I have all my website links. Okay. Let me see. I'm scrolling. I like looking at people's faces. So I'm going to share a couple of things in my book. And let me ask you a question. Yes, here's the link to okay, I see that. Is there any questions? Like, is there anything that anybody wants to ask me about as far as a breakup? Because I've gone through so many of them, I probably have an answer. Like, honestly, about to go back to school in January to be a therapist. So this is like what I do. I'm constantly having conversations about breakups and coaching people. Even when I was in Dominican Republic, I was actually praying with somebody out in the daggone wilderness somewhere. And, so yeah. Is there any questions, or does anybody want to ask anything? Okay, no. I like interaction, so I always say names, and I like to see people's faces. I like your dress, girl. So I always ask questions. Okay, well, I'll just share I'm going to share a couple steps. One of the steps that I'll share when you're coming through a breakup, the main thing you want to do, and this is what I call it, no contact like a boss. It's basically setting and keeping a healthy boundary, right? So I'm going to give you my personal story. Like, real rap, this is the first time that I ever said it this raw, like live, maybe to my friends. Straight stalker. Like, had to block every number. So in no contact, block their number, block the 50 numbers that they create and try to call you from, block the family members, don't do no social media, Facebook, all your pages, all their pages, block them, and then don't go on their pages. No contact is a thing. Like, don't even connect with their family or their friends, because you, like, say you have mutual friends, you may actually see some pictures of them, or you may talk to them and then they bring them up, and now you're back in this spiral. Here's the thing. When you're going through breakup recovery, you are recovering. It's like literally you are in a recovery. Like, there was a death and you're trying to heal. You got to give your mind and your body, your emotions, an opportunity to reset. So it's not about nobody else at that moment. It's about you. So these are things I actually literally had to do. And I researched it. I studied it. I looked it up from a psychological standpoint. When you do the no contact, you are allowing your brain to reset. Your body has created like all these different hormones from being with that person, that connection. And now you are disconnecting, right? That's my favorite step. I call it no contact like a boss. Every time you no contact, you win. I posted it on my Instagram. Yes, Miss Focus, you got a question. I see you. Are you saying something?
Yes, I just wanted to qualify that, because that is an amazing tool. And I want to make sure I'm hearing you say, so that's when it's an unhealthy relationship, is toxic. It might be physically or mentally, emotionally abusive. Not all relationships that end in a breakup need to be no contact, but you're speaking of relationships that are toxic. Is that right, Coach?
I'm talking about relationships that are toxic. Now, if you have children and you have, other people, like if you have children involved, then you got to no contact in a way, like you got to set healthy boundaries for yourself. I'm talking about relationships that was toxic, that was abusive, that was, no, this will never happen in life. Absolutely no contact like a boss. Absolutely. Thank you for that. One of the other steps that I talk about in my book is making everything beautiful. Now, this was like a thing for me where, okay, so now in my house, I had a 3-bedroom house. I'm an empty nester. Y'all know I got 5 grandkids. I don't look like I got 5 of them. So I had 3 rooms. I had a guest bedroom, white bedroom set, was in the back of the house. All you heard was like birds chirping and stuff. I literally moved into my guest bedroom. bought myself flowers every single day, had soft music in that room. I had to create another atmosphere. I had to make everything beautiful because my mind, I'm trying to retrain my mind and my emotions. And unfortunately, that person was in the other bedroom with me. So when we broke up, I didn't want to be where they were. So I talk about making everything beautiful. What does that look like for you? Like, what are those things that you're going to do to make everything beautiful? Like I said, one of the things, buying flowers. It's a whole psychological study on flowers and the benefits of flowers, certain scents, things like that. That's another step. Let me give you one more step. I got a lot of 12 of them. Let me say. Remove triggers. That's another favorite. Yes. So here you go. Now, this is me. Y'all can do y'all. Everybody can do them. I throw it all out. Every gift, every card, everything. Now, sometimes you might want to take the stuff and put it away in the box somewhere and kind of hide it from yourself so you don't have to see it. That's your choice. For me, I removed all triggers. So what that means is you go through the house, you get rid of everything that reminds you of that person, every single thing. And while you're at it, in removing triggers, you remove stuff that other people may have left or you see from somebody else, because remember, you are in breakup recovery. You are healing. You are going through a process, right? A lot of things has happened when you go through this breakup. Your self-esteem is hit. You wake up, I woke up like, what in the world is going on? So then that's something else I talk about in the book, how to rebuild your self-esteem. Okay, so I'm not going to be long. Again, I am Shaunte L. Proctor. I'm a certified life coach, author, and a speaker. My new book is How to Survive, Thrive, Boss Up After a Breakup. I am on Instagram, Shaunte Proctor Life. I'm also, Shaunte is real estate, but that's something else. I've been a realtor for 20 years, but I'm on Instagram, Shaunte Proctor Life Coach. I think Levine or somebody, y'all put the information on how to get the book. I don't know who did. Okay, I'll put it in there. The books are they're $15 right now. I'm autographing all books. So when you do go through PayPal and order it, I will sign it for you. I'm on Amazon too. But if you go through Amazon, you want to get it straight from them. You won't get an autographed signature. And again, you can reach out to me that way, Instagram. And just watch out for my masterclass that will be coming out in about 2 to 3 weeks. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Shaunte, thank you so much. We did an interview a couple weeks ago. So we had some issues with the technology, but we made it through. I think that what you're doing is especially at the breakup, I think that a lot of times, a lot of people are going through that. They don't know how to do the breakup recovery mode and remove all triggers and all signs and symbols. I think that's something we need, because a lot of people are hurting, they don't know how to move forward or how to take that first step, to get back with someone, sometimes like they break up with someone, they get with someone else immediately, without even fully breaking up with that person, the last person. They take all they have and they go to the next person. So, and that person got to deal with that. I'm like, what? So I think that's very essential. That's very also healthy too, also a form of self-care too. And self-love to yourself. It can take your love back to yourself, to recover, to recuperate, refresh your mind and get your mind back to your purpose, So I think that's very, very powerful, very neat. Let me know about the web class so we can promote that. I think that's definitely needed for our young people. I think that especially the people who got divorced and people who were married for a long time, they were divorced and or go through separation, you know what I mean? So I think that's will help them, especially help them not get stuck,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very, very important. So
thank you so much. I'm gonna go and put my camera thing up, and then I'll just type in the chat the information. So if anybody, wants to reach out to me outside of this, I'm open to it. If you're having a problem with the breakup and you're going through it and you want to chat, talk about some stuff, I'm open to that as well.
All right. Wonderful. So like I said, now we just, wow, how everyone's feeling good so far. How you learned something new about these offers. How you still, energy still flowing, but we're going to take a 10-minute break for those who go to the bathroom, who need to take a break, get something to drink. I'm going to share my screen play a classic video for Office Cafe for our YouTube page. I will put that page on there and turn the link for you to subscribe to our Office Cafe page. It's only 10 minutes. Then after that, we're going to have our next offer. It's Leah Forney. Forney. I'm sorry, Forney. So it's funny. I know it for 10 years. I can't say her last name. So I'm gonna we'll take a short break. I'm gonna share my screen, play a classic video for you to watch, and as you getting yourself together, refresh yourself. Then we come back around about 5:09. So we'll take a short little break. Wow, that was getting good. That was getting good. I was getting sucked right into it. That was my friend Mitchell Chance. He spoke at Artist Cafe 7. He talked about his 6 A's of manhood. I actually have that book, and it's funny that some of the same stuff we talked about almost 5 years ago is still relevant today. And that's hopefully I'm doing, like, being available as a quality community. Never advocate your phone, being available, really stress from your woman. And I've been seeing that clip in like years. So years. So I think that's a powerful tool, a thing that we can use, just to, that's why I subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there are a lot of great offers that have shared our stage in the past 5 years. And he was one of them. So you're gonna get some gems. You're gonna shed some tears. I'm telling y'all, like, this has opened up a lot of minds and hearts of people, and re-examine themselves. There's something always spiritual that comes from this. It's not like we having church services like that, but it's something that's powerful that comes from these cafes. All right, so let's get back to the focus of the event today. So because that spoiled my spirit. My next author, I have known her for about I think more than 10 years, and I see her ups, her downs now, and she was on my radio show a couple of weeks ago. She's already in the South. So joining us today is Miss Leah Forney. So Leah is a daughter, granddaughter, sister, friend, pre-licensed marriage of therapist, or some of the hats that she wears. She's a native of Queens, New York, who is currently residing in Maryland. Writing and speaking came naturally to her. Leah is the oldest girl of 6 siblings. She grew up around a father and mother raising her. She learned early on the importance of having a relationship with Jesus Christ from a maternal grandmother who raised her in the church. Leah's love for writing came at an early age when she was penning poems to release the pain she felt from not having her parents in her life. Never knowing where her writings would take her, Leah penned her first book. As she continues to accept the calling that God has placed on her life, Leah is open to seeing where her gifts and talents will take her. She has released 7 books over the last 4 years. She is a podcast host of an internationally streamed show, Hey Cream, Thrive. She has recorded the audience attraction for a coach for ability to able to assist her clients with solidifying her messaging to reach her intended audience. She is an award winner of I Am H.E.Her International Awards Women of the Rise. She has been blessed to be featured on 70 different media publications, including but not limited to internationally streamed The Size to Move podcast and the CEO Wife Experience podcast. You can follow Leah on main social media sites on Facebook, Leah and Forney, Instagram, Leah_M_Forney, and her website is www.leahandforney.com. So let's welcome a good friend of mine. She's doing it, Miss Leah Forney.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a long time coming, because I've been promising you Authors Cafe for 5 years now. So it's long overdue, but I'm excited to be here. Congratulations again to you for getting married to the lovely Fatima. I'm so excited and so happy for this new journey you on. Seriously, I know some of the struggles you have had over the last 10 years plus as friends. So I'm happy for you. I really am. But I am an author, 7-time published author. So I have several books. All of them are my babies. But I think the one that's probably the most nearest and dearest to my heart right now is a book I wrote called Defining Moments, From Tragedy to Triumph to Destiny. And so the reason why I wrote that book is I believe we all have a defining moment in our lives. And when I thought of defining moments, I thought of that little fork in the road, right? Where you have to make a decision, right? There is a life changing decision that you have to make. And sometimes you don't know what's on the other side of that decision. You don't know what's to come. You're terrified. There's so many questions, but we all have them. And so my defining moment came 3 years ago, May 14, 2019, when my fiance passed away unexpectedly. Literally woke up that morning to him dead on the bathroom floor. Unexpected. We didn't think this was going to happen. Didn't even know why it had to happen, right? And so when I wrote Defining Moments, it was my personal journey with grief. He was one of 5 people that I buried in a 1-year span. So from him, I had a really dear friend that was murdered by her husband. After that was my father who passed away. My father-in-law passed away, and then one of my brother's best friend, who was like another brother to me, committed suicide, all in 1 year. So imagine the complexity of that grief. And so when God gave me Defining Moments, I was still grieving. And I remember saying to God, why do you want me to write this book while I'm grieving? Like, you can't wait till after I'm done grieving to write the book. But if you know anything about God, he does everything well and in his timing. So 2 things I want to touch on about this book. The 2 biggest lessons I learned going through my grief journey was this lesson on support. And I was isolating. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I was isolating. I was chilling on Leah's island. But at the same time, I was crying to God that nobody was here to support me. Nobody cared. Nobody checked on me. And I remember God saying to me, that's because you over here isolating. There are people that want to support you, but you won't let them in. So I learned a valuable lesson about support. Support is a 2-way street. Support requires you to communicate, one, right? We can't think that because LaVon is my friend, he's just supposed to know. No, that's not what it is, right? Because we do. We think that because this is our family, this is our friend, they're just supposed to know. And the truth of the matter is that was my thought process until God said, no, you have to communicate what it is that you need and how you need it. The second part of support is be open to receiving it. So you can communicate all day long, but are you open to receiving what you said you wanted? Many of us do that. We will communicate, but not open our hearts, not open our spirits to receiving the very thing that we said we want. And so the other lesson that God taught me during my grief journey was that sometimes we have to be the others what we need. Sometimes we have to sow into others the very encouragement, right? You know, Coach Shaunte was talking about that breakup. Yeah, been there, done that. Girl, I could probably write a book with you about it, right? But sometimes we have to sow into others that very thing that we need, because it's the seed that's going to produce the harvest that's going to get us what we need when we need it, right? And so as a mental health clinician who's been in the field for 9 years, I remember grieving, and every one of my clients were grieving. And I said, wait a minute, God. So how do you want me to counsel? And I'm grieving too. And he literally said, because you have to sow the seed. You have to be to them the very thing that you need, and then watch you reap the harvest because you've sowed the seed. And so Defining Moments for me was that journey of taking tragedy, turning it to triumph. And in the midst of it, you know, I've turned around, I've written other books. I now coach other women in telling their stories. I've had the ability to speak on many platforms, just from my obedience to being able to say, okay, I'm going to take this traumatic situation in my life and I'm going to allow God to take the pain and turn it into purpose. And so that's one of my 7 books.
Wow. Like I love you. You talked about like being that support. and also talking about supporting people while you're still grieving. And that's a thing. Sometimes I say, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to be with one, but and then when God tell you to do something, you better do it. So, and I was there when I heard the news. I saw the whole journey. I was like the whole journey beginning. I was support. I was like, yes, yeah, I was like, then that shocked me too. I was like, no way. I'm like, no, it ain't happening. And they're like, and then now he took what happened to you and used it, turn it around and use it to help someone else. That's sometimes we still hurting, but we help be bless someone else. Sometimes I think, I don't know, some of the things, but I said this before, to be the only way you can be healed is be blessed someone else. I think that's we heard you, the best way to be blessed someone else in the midst of your hurt. So, sometimes we got to deny ourselves and get out of the way and being blessed to ourselves, and then God will come back and heal us with what we are dealing with. So, like I said, I'm astounded. I'm very proud of you. I thank God for our friendship. For the talks we had before, the conversations, and and just it's motivate each other. Push each other. Just knowing that you was all moving. So but like I said, I'm very proud of you. I thank God for you. Yeah, because you challenged me. Even though you challenged me to be a better person, and now I'm for mental health now. So I'm for mental health. I'm for teaching young people how to do mental health. While they're young, and not wait till they get older to deal with those traumas, those situations. So a lot of people say there was wild, powerful story. I used to say amazing. Sometimes we gotta learn from our tragedies. Sometimes our tragedies are our biggest blessings. So in the midst of our pain, and sometimes we all deal with pain, but it depends how we respond to it. You gonna let it sick, or you gonna turn to something positive, or use it as motivation to get back up. So you definitely got back up, and I'm very proud.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. That's all love. It's all love. It's all love. It's all love because we in this together, So we had to help each other to inspire one another. So thank you so much, Leah. Put information in the chat for those who want your books, because I think that's very important. I think that mental health is being taken seriously. We gotta take that seriously. We can't push that under the rug. Absolutely, So
absolutely, I will. Thank you.
You're definitely welcome. So, wow. Our next offer is a young man who I know his family for a long, long time, for about 15 years, well, almost 16 years now. And now this event is now being a family thing for them. So I know his mother for about 16 years. His sister was a part of our cafe a couple months ago, and now he's a part of it. So let's welcome Jose Montero Jr. He's our youngest offer in this panel. He's a talented 7th grader in Pennsylvania. He loves to joke around with friends and family, listen to music, kick back, watch TV, and playing video games. Additionally, Jose has a passion for being active. He is awarded both defensive and offensive MVPs in football, and has been recognized for various athletic achievements in cross-country, PE fitness, and taekwondo. Not only is Jose excelling academically, as noted by the school honor roll, but he recently added author to this accomplishments. Jose found inspiration for this book through his own biracial identity. Jose wanted his book to be both empower and publicize up youth who might be dying with their unique ethnicities and instead focus on the gift of being biracial. Jose strives to become a better person each day with opportunities before him and become the person who stands out from the crowd. He has been featured on the Maya Imani Show, Hindsight Media Radio Show, 103.5 FM, Spotlight Children Offers Live Stream, as well as a young entrepreneur and vendor and offers Visions Excellence community event. So let's welcome our youth offer, a standing young man, the son of Alyssa Montero, Mr. Jose Montero Jr.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Mr. Levon. My name's Jose Montero. I'm in 8th grade. I'm going to 8th grade now. I'm 13 years old, and I'm a recent self-published author. And basically, it's like one of my first mini, what do you call it? Like, I guess reviews. And it's like I was kind of having trouble with it and everything. So, um, I just got to basically get into it. And I started writing my book in like 1st grade, I think it was. I originally wrote it in 1st grade, and it was for a project. Then after that, I kind of put it to the side. I didn't really worry about it. A couple years later, I saw it over COVID and everything, and I just noticed I'm like, I can make this more than what it is if I really put more detail into it. Because really, nothing was going on during that time. Like even the game was getting boring, so I had to do something else more productive at that point. And I basically took it apart and I put the little things in, repeated some stuff. I had to definitely put a little more detail into it because like you can't really be drawing stick figures and published books. So yeah. And everything just kind of came together, and it only took me about a couple months because when I really have my mind onto something, I can like basically just type away. And it's weird because my friends come at me sometimes for typing paragraphs. I'm like, sorry for the spam, guys. Sorry for the spam. But I just, I don't even know at that point. It's like, I just have a gift for typing and writing when I really have a passion for something. And so I finished my book at about May 2021, so pretty recently. And I came out with it. It's called Dauntless Warriors. I can show you on the book real quick. This is what it looks like. And basically, I wanted to write that book, like Mr. Vaughn said. I wanted to write that book to inspire kids across the world and everything, and teach them that you can't like really choose one side of being biracial and stuff. Because sometimes I feel like if people base you off your skin tone, it's not really, they don't really look at you for instance, if I was white and black, they wouldn't look at me as a white person. They would only see my black skin tone. So I'm basically, I'm Puerto Rican and African American. And for example, growing up, some people have asked me at times, how do I deal with that? And because everything, it's weird because I'm two different types of cultures and put together. And I like the cultures and everything because sometimes we like go back into Philly and everything where my parents grew up, and we would just see like views or like go out to eat, and sometimes with my family, everything, and like the scenery and everything, it's just so like beautiful. And just especially at night you can see like all the lights glowing and everything. It's like I want to be there half the time more than living in the suburbs. But yeah. And my book is mainly about two little boys named Spencer and Kylo. They grew up not within not so pleasant place, without any parents. They didn't have the money to take care of them, so they had to be put in the orphanage. And they basically had to come together as two brothers, basically sticking by themselves along with COVID. Now, the thing that I like about this is that I actually made COVID a character in my book. So instead of doing it, I was trying to think of a villain and everything. And I noticed that over quarantine, we was really like watching movies and stuff. And I'm like, I gotta think of something, but it can't be like, copyright, because I don't want to like name it after anything. So I'm like, oh wait, I can just make COVID a villain because like, everything that's going on, we're basically quarantined in the house while it's basically just chilling out here doing whatever it wants. So I just did that, and they basically have to come together as brothers and fight against COVID. But they need to learn. They love martial arts. I can't even speak right now. They needed to learn martial arts to fully develop their understanding of everything. And you really like sometimes you just got to take a step back from everything and view it before yourself and understand that not everything comes so easily. You have to practice, and keep going and everything. And not everyone is going to be good at it. And you can't really view it as if, oh, she's better than me, he's better than me. You got to focus on yourself at that point and learn what you can do at that moment, because eventually you're going to be better than that person. You might even be the best person in the world at that point. And that's like, anything can happen at this point. So you just got to keep on going. You never know what you might accomplish in that point. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for having me, Mr. Levon. And I just wanted to say that. So yeah.
Oh man, we was in a few in person, I would give you a standing ovation. Like, wow, that's a 13-year-old sharing his faults. And you know, it's mom on here, Melissa. I want to see she be able to share a few. There she is. There she is. Yes. I want to see share a few words about this platform, your son, because y'all doing it. Y'all doing it.
Well, no, you're doing it. First of all, I'm at my niece's birthday party, so my husband is there with him, and I am to the moon proud of my son. I give him a huge hug. I mean, I'm just so proud of him. But I just wanted to, thank you so much for the opportunity to have him on your platform, me on your platform, Maya on your platform. Your platform was actually my first experience presenting my book as an author. So I owe you a ton of gratitude, and I love everything that you're doing. And you know, anytime you ask me to support you, I got you. I'm proud of you. Happy for you and Fatima. I love this movement, and it is just blessing so many people and blessing the community. So kudos to you. Just congratulations to all of the authors, everybody that's on right now. It's just been an honor to hear from you guys, and I wish you all the best and a ton of success. And as I said again, me and JJ's dad, Jose, are to the moon proud of him. We talked to him a little bit today about his presentation, and when I tell y'all, he turned up from what he was doing earlier today. So he's teachable, and that's huge. And so thank you so much for the opportunity, and good luck to everybody.
Wow. I had to say back because I forgot that was her first book she shared, you know, it was on a platform, you know. Now her family's doing it, you know. Now wait for other son to do it. So everyone, you know, so I'm glad. Yes, Melissa has been supportive of me for a long time because we worked together in film schools like a long 2005, and now we connected, I think 5 years ago, right around almost cafe time, you know. And then your book came out, I was like, I gotta get you on here. You're like, and thank you for your words, because like I never thought that you doing it will set a chain reaction for your kids doing this. Now, I never thought that, honestly. I never thought that, you know. Sometimes, like, you do things just to do it because God wants you to do it. But when it's impacting a family and impacting generational blessings and not curses and passing down to your children, that now they on here, like, it's a blessing. I'm truly humbled and grateful for you, you know. And this is what it's about. It's about giving people an opportunity to share. You know, now I have a whole family tree doing it, you know. So hopefully they can continue, you know, because I love giving people the opportunity to share. You never know who you're impacting. You never know who you inspiring to create a new book, you know, a new story, you know. So thank you for your words, and that really made my day, you know. Maybe sometimes be grateful for what you have, be thankful for what you have, you know. You never know who you're impacting. Jose, I'm very proud of you. I wish I was like that. I was 13 years old. I wish I was like 13, writing a book and like being that confident in your speaking and being so direct, so real, so upfront, you know. And I'm proud of you for that, you know. And definitely, he got support. You need a mentor, someone to talk to as you get older, and let me know. I'm here for you. So because we try and break these cycles, we try and get them to keep on the right path of greatness, you know. So thank you so much, Alyssa. I really appreciate you saying that. I know you're busy.
No problem. Any chance I can give you your flowers, I'm gonna give them to you because I know every day is not a walk in the park, and everything does not always go according to the plan, but it's going to God's plan, and your fruit is wide and great. So keep up the great work. Stay encouraged on those difficult days. Remember the people that cross your path and the people on your platform, and remember the lives that you're touching. So keep it up. We got your back. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
All right now, Melissa, go on now. You're about to make everybody cry. Lord Jesus.
It's
me crying. Oh, such a blessing. Such a blessing. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You allowed, Levon, you amongst family, you allowed to drop them happy tears of gratitude and God uses you.
Yes. I was over here ready to throw a shoe. Like, go ahead and stop.
Beautiful, beautiful. Look at God. Look at God.
You deserve all of it. You deserve your moment. Go ahead.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Beautiful. And they say men don't have emotions. Come on. Maybe we got to talk to them more. Talk to their heart and soul, and we'll see the emotion. Give them their kudos. Make them feel empowered, grateful. Give them gratitude, and we'll see their emotion. Beautiful.
I'm sorry, guy. I'm so sorry.
You giving us a treat. We ain't seen a black man cry in a minute.
I'll not fall break. I'll be the last one break down, man. But what she said really touched me, you know, and I'm just doing the work that God called me to do. You know, there are days I've been tough.
Guys,
this is beautiful.
He see you and he got you.
This is beautiful, brother. No apologies needed.
God gets all the glory. That's all I can say, you know, and I'm just grateful and thankful for what God's doing, you know, and I'm just gonna keep going with this, you know, and because I know I've had so many people's lives by doing this, I get an opportunity to speak about a book, you know, I just didn't know, and I'm truly humbled and grateful, you know, by the people here today and people that have done the past 5 years said yes to me, you know, and took a chance on me, you know, and they have thrived and they have become better people from this experience, you know. So
guys, and I just feel really moved from the life Levon has lived for so many of us as a black man. Jose, I'm with you. I know you got Spanish and black. Roll with me. That's all a part of you too, and just being a man. I want to acknowledge him because I know he's in the room. I'm gonna send you a donation right now, and I'm gonna put his Cash App in here. We all know this is a newly married man, and he spent hours putting this together.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Often. You are welcome, Jose. You are welcome. And if he spends hours putting this together, Romans 12, path to greatness, and he's serving his community. I know we got on here. If you got on here like me, I got on here to make some money today, to sell my book and get some clients. But I'm being moved by God to sow into this man of God who's given us an opportunity to be able to bless other people with our book and to have this fellowship. We can all be somewhere else in the world right now, but we sit here talking about, especially us as women, you know, as women that don't even know how to read or write and don't have an opportunity to. They will get scolded and some of them stoned if they learned how to read or write. But we are blessed not only to be able to read or write, we put it down on paper. We had the resources to get on the internet, figure out self-publishing, was able to get insight, people buying our book and having an opportunity, being on the internet, on the computer, to be able to talk to one another. We are blessed. So I'm going to ask you guys to bless Levon. I'm going to bless Levon and Fatina for the effort that they're doing. I'm going to put his Cash App there, and I'm going to ask all those that are moved, touched, and inspired to follow my lead and you bless him, whatever it is that God give you to give him. But he's been doing this, for the longest, very little pay, but out of his servanthood to give us a platform to share. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Fatima, do me a favor. Can you drop what y'all cash app is, Levon's cash app in the chat, please? And for whoever's moved to do that, please bless them. You guys know they newlyweds. They always moving and shaking. They yet giving to the community, have an amazing event coming in December. I'm going to just plug it. I'm just going to plug it, Levon. I'm just going to plug it. December this 4th, they're going to have a couples day. Yet again, serving couples that want to share how you can grow, love, keep the spark alive. And here's Levon. We can't talk about the couples event while him jumping in. Me and Fatima trying to put the couples event together. He like, well, what about the singles, Miss Focus? I'm like, well, let's get the couples event first, Levon, and we'll put the singles together. He said, well, the singles need something too, Miss Focus. I said, okay, we're gonna put the singles. So he just loves serving people. So singles, look out, it's coming too. But I just want to acknowledge you, Levon. It's just such a blessing to be in your leadership, your drive for greatness and Black excellence. And we want to just say appreciate you. Really, we really do. So if you guys want to follow suit, feel free. And I'm going to stop right there. I'll turn it over to you, Levon.
Wow. Thank you, Focus, for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for support. As you know, I'm very hard-headed sometimes with my wife, and I'm very hard-headed because I want things to be great, and I'm hard on myself, and I'm hard on my wife, and I'm we were been so emotional, with the gun violence with our kids, put this together, and trying to stay faced, and because our youth are hurting, and no one's talking to them. No one's getting a platform to speak, to express themselves, and I go home, I feel empty. I feel like I'm empty upon myself. I pray for these kids, and I pray for this event too, because I was about this event too. That's about everything. I don't want to fail. I don't want to let my wife down, you down. I want to fail. Because I've been through so much. I've been through so much disappointment and hurt, and I don't want to fail anyone. I don't want to mess up anymore. I know I'm going to mess up at some point, but I know that. But it's like I've been so hard on myself, like trying to be perfect and trying to be this person, trying to adapt to a new role in my life. And it's been hard. But I know God's got my back. I know God has me, and it's a day-to-day walk, and that's why I go to church. That's why I praise God, because I need that refreshment, because it's every day is something different, and I'm just want to be a blessing to so many people, and I'm more blessed than them than myself, I'd rather see them blessed than have myself blessed, so maybe I need to balance that out a little bit, but I never thought when I saw the date, it was like 5 years later. 5 years later, oh, that's because of God. Like, I didn't even think of it, like 5 years later. When I saw that video, I was like, wow, 5 years later, I've done this. Like, I've kept going. A lot of things have started and stopped. I just kept going, I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to give people platforms and hopefully come together. Hopefully we can have our cafe library, and everyone's book will be in the library, and just make reading cool again, make writing cool again, and just make everything fun, everything that's fundamental, not a strain, but a joy, So I know it's kind of went to the left a little bit, but it had to be because Melissa really made me tears kind of caught in my face with her words. I sometimes you don't feel like you feel love. Sometimes you feel like you're by yourself, and even though you're not by yourself, but you still have the moment you still fight by yourself. But now it's got to like remove that negativity and choose happiness and choose peace and choose joy. So Let's everyone collect their breaths together, wipe their tears on your face. And, no, it's emotional because I told you, every Artist Cafe has been emotional for me. In some shape or form, it's been emotional to touch someone. So we'll keep this going. I know all those persons how to follow up with this. But the next person I'm going to have going is someone I went to high school with. We went to high school together. She graduated a year before me. And she's doing Astorday Fiends, and she's the voice of the community. She's been doing it for a long time. I'm going to introduce her to Miss Taya Moore. So Taya Moore.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
I'm going to read your bio real quick. Try to get
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Taya Moore, a.k.a. Just Taya, was born and raised in North Philadelphia, loving sports and music. Taya gravitated towards many rap and sports debates on social media platforms. Taya was a host of the internet radio programs Army Air Raid, Saturday Wrap Up, and Fly Taya and Timo Show. Intrigued by her knowledge as a subject, internet radio show owners invited to feature or host a podcast and internet radio shows. And having a few stints of the radio personality on her own shows as well as others. In 2017, Taya dropped her own podcast, Taya Tuesday Thoughts. Most recently, Taya hosted a podcast titled Just a Messenger with more than 5,000 listeners globally. Just a Messenger touched on self-care, transparency, and going beyond the headlines. Growing to love the sound of her voice and expressing unique opinions, Taya has now been blessed in airways for 13 years. She just recently retired from radio in April 2021. Taya is a writer, editor, blogger, radio programmer, entrepreneur, youth activist, and self-care advocate. As a child, Taya has always had passion to write, but always thought her target audience will be children. At 39 years of age, Taya has worked with publications as Fitty Word, Cure Magazine, Smooches, and a publication that has the most success with the 1800 magazine. Taya was a lead editor on author Mr. Well Brown's breakout novel, Reality Bites. Taya is the sole owner of Just Taya brand, and she just published her first novel titled A First Cup of Tea, No Sugar, in February 2021. So let's welcome Miss Taya Moore.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So first I want to say, before I start talking about the book, how happy I am to be here. You don't know this, but when I was writing my book, I kept watching you have these author cafes, and I was like, when I publish this book, I'm hoping to be asked to be a part of this author cafe. So I'm very happy about that. And how special is it that I'm a part of the 5th anniversary of all things, So thank you for inviting me. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I was listening to you talk about yourself, and that's kind of what my book is about being so hard on yourself and, being insecure about making mistakes. And, at this point, I'll just say this to you because I say this to myself. You have to give yourself grace. You have to focus more on the things that you do right, more of the blessings in your life. Like you just got married. And your wife wouldn't have married you if, if she expected you to be perfect. She does not expect you to be perfect. You should not put that pressure on yourself. You should not put that pressure on her because she's not projecting that onto you. So I wanted to say that to you because, I do feel like at times you are really hard on yourself. And I see that because that's how I used to be with my own self. But now at almost 40, I'm giving myself grace. You just read my bio. I'm sitting here proud. Like I really have done a lot in a short time. And that's the things that we need to focus on. What we have done right. I mean, you have all these successful programs. This is your 5th anniversary of the Author Cafe. You got married, you found love. Look at all the great things that everybody said about you. Start internalizing that so that you can give yourself grace. All right. So that was on my heart to say to you before I even get into my book. So as Levine said, I did retire from radio this year. I just felt like I wanted to go into a different direction. And part of that was because a lot of my show, like in the beginning, I was talking about like things that's going on in the world or whatever. And that just wasn't on my heart anymore. So, I went in a different direction. And I'm getting ready to turn 40. So I just want to be different, And that's what this book is about. I'll show y'all the cover. A fresh cappuccino sugar. So most of my life, I've been insecure about something. When I was younger, it was because I was skinny. When I was older, it's because I was big. You know what I mean? Well, thick. I've been insecure about my height because I'm like 5'8". That's why I stood up earlier, because that was me like showing y'all like, yeah, I'm thick. Yeah, I'm tall. I don't care no more. You know what I mean? And I allowed those things to make me be a prisoner for other people. Like I used to deal with men and be like, well, I should let him do whatever he wants to because at least he likes me even though I'm skinny or even though I'm thick or even though I'm tall. You know what I mean? So, that was a big thing. So one of the two biggest things I had to do in order to become a fresh cappuccino sugar is to free myself from all insecurities. Doesn't mean I don't have them, but I don't allow them to make me a prisoner. I know what they are. I can acknowledge them. You know what I mean? The other thing was abandonment issues. My dad, when I was 6 years old, my mom and dad split. My dad told me I'd be back in 2 weeks, and then I didn't see him again until I was 16. So, for some years as a kid, every time somebody knocked on the door, I'm like, is that my dad? Is that my dad? And as I got older as a woman, those issues still surface, I would either like get rid of people quickly or hold on to people just because for whatever reason. And that all stemmed from my dad. And once I was able to repair that relationship, I was able to, free those abandonment issues. But the thing about the tea process is like, let's say like you had a hard day and, you want to feel better. So you make a cup of tea. What do you have to do? You pick the kind of tea you want. You boil the water. You got to let the tea bag steep. Then you got to let it cool off. Then you drink it to see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you add something else. But it's only if you like it. So that was the metaphor I used for myself. Like, I need a process in order to be who I am supposed to be without the pain, without the abandonment issues, without the insecurities. So I had to brew, so to speak, in order to become this fresh cup of tea. And then no sugar means that nobody gets to add anything to me anymore because I am a fan of my flavor, so to speak. Now, the beauty of the tea process is it's literally like making a cup of tea. You can do it as many times as you need to. Now, your ingredients might not be the same, but it's still the same process. It's still the same process. You can do it as many times as you need to. I mean, even since writing this book, some things have changed, and this came out in February. So, I do the tea process all the time. When I start feeling like life is, getting to me, I sit down and say, all right, what's going on? What you need to brew in order to be back to, who you are. So a lot of people have came to me and said that they've used the tea process and it has helped them. And that was one of two reasons why I wrote it. It wasn't even about money. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be an author, as he said, from a kid. And I always speak from a place of God has brought me through so that I could tell somebody else my story and bring them through too. And that's what I do all the time. So I had said, like, if one person came to me and said, this helped me, I had done my job. It didn't matter if 5 people bought it. If one person came to me, and I have exceeded that. I mean, people have really, really, really been using this. You know what I mean? And that's why I learned to give myself grace. It's like, and social media is a big part of it. You see a lot of people doing a lot of things, and you start to think to yourself, why not me? You know what I mean? But everything you see on social media ain't real. You don't know how those people got there. You don't know how they're maintaining what they have, and their story is their story. Comparison is definitely the thief of joy, your own. So, I always tell people, like, don't go by what you see on social media. Find your own process so that you can be your own fresh cup of tea. And don't let nobody add nothing to you, because only you need to like how your tea tastes. If I don't like how my tea tastes, then I'm going to add some lemon, I'm going to add some sugar until I do. But nobody else gets to. So that's basically with the fresh cappuccino sugar. But I'm in a much better place now. I'm getting ready to be 40 in September. I feel like a completely, some parts of me are always going to be the same, but I feel like a completely healed person. I mean, I really do. I'm just in a place of peace. I am single. But I feel like, God wanted me that way so I could get to this place and I could be with somebody for the right reasons that is about peace also, and we can be living in peace together. You know what I mean? So I'm very proud of this book. It's so crazy. I'm not a person that expects people to do anything, but my friends actually threw me a tea party to celebrate my book. It was a surprise, and I'm still like in disbelief for that. But yeah, I mean, this book just continues to be a blessing. It's a blessing today. I'm on the Authors Cafe. I'm getting to talk to you guys. I'm getting to talk about my book. I'm getting to talk about my healing and hopefully help someone in the process. I tell everybody this book continues to be a blessing, which is why I wrote it in the first place. I mean, I put my most personal things, insecurities, flaws, mental health, whatever, out for the public to read, to be judged, for people to change the narrative, whatever the case may be. I did not care because I not only free myself, I help other people in the process. And I feel like that's what life is about. That's why God brings us through the things that he does so that we can pay it forward.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
I loved it, and I see that you post every day about your self-care. You practice that every single day.
2 hours. 2 hours minimum a day. And since May 1st, and it has made a world of difference in my life. 2 hours. It could be a half hour in the morning, half hour at lunchtime, 1 hour in that 2 hours minimum. Yeah. It's very important. Self-care is very, very important. So that's the other thing I was going to say to you. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right, exactly.
Eventually, you won't be able to be beneficial to everybody else if you're not beneficial to yourself.
Oh, right.
You got to learn how to help people without what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but y'all know what I'm saying. You got to be able to help people without giving everything you have. Yeah. Right. Because you got to be able to give to your wife. You got to be able to give to yourself. You know what I mean? You got to find the balance, and you got to stop being so hard on yourself. There's really no reason to. I don't see anything wrong that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stop being hard on yourself. Don't try to live up to anybody's expectations but your own. And make sure your expectations are realistic and you're giving yourself free. You're not going to be perfect. It's your first time being a husband. You're not going to be a perfect husband. You're going to have to work at it. So don't try to be perfect at anything. Nobody's perfect. Not a soul. Nope. All right. Thank you.
We had a question. How do people get the book?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on Amazon. If you just type in my name, the book is going to come up. Taya Moore, the book is going to come up. But I enjoy all of you. I'm like, whew, this was, yeah. The breakup process, that was, I needed that a few years ago. I mean, I haven't been in that position in a while, but I needed that. But I like what Focus said. Every breakup isn't bad. Some of them, you just grow apart, and you don't need to, cut all ties or whatever. But if it's toxic and you know yourself, you know that you need to do out of sight, out of mind, then do out of sight, out of mind. But if you can be friends with that person and it's not, disturbing your peace, then it's nothing wrong with maintaining, friendships. But that was great.
Yes, and I love the work you're doing. We actually did an event together a couple of years ago, and the Youth Emergency Services. That was a cool event, and I. Yeah. I think you asked me to come. I came that night. So that was an awesome experience. I still go to Yes Too periodically, just to drop off stuff, just things that they need, So like I said, you are doing it. You are doing it. You are you give yourself grace. You're about to be 40, you know. So I mean, it's time to celebrate. You know what I mean? Time to celebrate your accomplishment. That's a major accomplishment. You know what I mean? Being 40 and you're still alive. You know, like your daughter's doing well. I think your daughter about graduating next year, right? So you
My
graduate.
daughter is a senior. Yep, in Lincoln.
Oh wow, already. Like she just left. Like already. See,
right.
yeah,
right. That's what I said. This her last year.
Yeah.
Yes, this is her last year.
Well, already it's like that she just started. I'm like the time.
That's what I said. Yeah, it went by quick. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like I said, I'm very proud of you. We went to the same high school, got the same bus together a couple times, 33rd Dolphin and Leah. So but look how we are now. Look how it came about now. It's just blessings of God, you know, just knowing that self-care thing. That's very important. That's every single day for me. Like I'm even taking a nap, or you just need that time to recuperate. You know what I mean? To get yourself refreshed, because you're not gonna be good for anyone else. You're gonna take it out on someone else. Like what? Like you know, sometimes you to breathe and get your collect your thoughts. You know, before you gather yourself. So I think that's very, very important. So
you also got to unplug from social media too.
Unplug.
I did that this week for like 4 days. I wasn't on at all. You have to do that because you have no idea how sometimes that, you know, messes with your mind, all the things that you see and ingest and, you know, all of that. So I suggest that to people also. You don't have to do 4 days like me, but maybe, you know, like an hour or whatever. Like usually in the morning, that's not the first thing I do. I usually might talk to my sister or somebody, you know, something to that effect. So yeah. Self-care is very important. It's essential.
Right. It's indeed.
I wish I discovered it years ago. I might have been in a better place sooner, you know?
That's very, very true. Very true. Like I said, thank you once again for you sharing your story, you know. Oh yeah. Leah said, do not put your phone, do not disturb. That's very true.
Yep. I got phone curfew. After a certain time, I don't answer.
Valid point. Well, I'll put it on silent. You know, so that's very, very important. That's sometimes a wine and sometimes the time to think and be clear, to be more creative, you know. So
it also allows you to be able to take accountability for what you need to do better. That's a lot, you know. If you stop and reflect and everything, you might say, all right, well, this might be happening because I'm doing this. You know what I mean? It gives you the opportunity to do that as well. So
wonderful. Yes, indeed, yes. All right. Oh wow, we're gonna go to now, and it's our last offer for Office Cafe 30, the 5th anniversary celebration. Her name is Miss Jazmine J. Lewis. All right, Jazmine is a graduate at Kane University, formerly known as Philadelphia Biblical University, with a bachelor's in Bible. She is the founder and CEO of the Chosen Life Incorporated, a nonprofit dedicated to the needs of single women and children. Jazmine is a worship leader, preacher, and mentor who prides herself in encouraging and empowering women to discover their worth. Through her own life journey, she has learned how to walk boldly in her God-given calling despite the obstacles that comes her way. She is passionate about fulfilling her God-given calling and to go into the world to get God's people. She knows that kingdom building is key, so she will fight tooth and nail to snatch God's people from the enemy's grip. Ladies and gentlemen, our last offer for Office Cafe 35th anniversary celebration. Let's welcome Miss Jazmine J. Lewis.
Thank you, Levon. I appreciate it. You can hear me good, right? I'm good. Okay, great. So like you said, I'm Jazmine J. Lewis. I am a first-time author. I just released my book in May. The book is called The Dress, How to Prepare for the Right One by Living the Chosen Life. On this cover, it's actually me in my wedding dress. I was engaged to be married, but as we had talked about before, prior, it was toxic. So God gave me an ultimatum. He said, you either get married and die spiritually, because that's how bad it was, or you can leave and live and be who I've called you to be. So I made a tough decision. We have children together, and I wanted to stay. A lot of times we have kids, you want to stay, you want to work it out, you know, for the kids, at least for the kids' sake. So I had to make the decision. It was hard, the hardest decision I've ever had to make. And I gave the ring back, but I still have a dress. So God told me that he wanted me to write this book because I'm not the only one who has gone through this. My priorities were out of whack, completely out of whack. So the book is inspired from Revelations 19, 7 and 8, which says, "Let us rejoice and be glad and give him glory, for the wedding of the Lamb has come and his bride has made herself ready. Fine linen, bright and clean, was given her to wear. Fine linen stands for the righteous acts of God's holy people." So I was so focused on being married because, of course, that is like every little girl's dream. And I'm sure men too, like you want to be married, you want to look gorgeous on your wedding day. But I did not have God in the middle of my relationship. I did not seek God first to see if this was the right man. And it's crazy because God told me from day one, don't do it. But I was so used to being with somebody, I didn't want to be by myself. I didn't want to be lonely. So again, that scripture is talking about not actual physical dress like this, but it's how are we living? Are we living a righteous life? Are we walking in holiness? How is Christ going to find us when he comes back for his bride? His bride is both men and female, okay? It's the church. It's the church of God. So again, I wanted marriage so bad that I went in like a couple weeks to get a dress. I wanted my significant other at that time to just be like head over heels and drooling while I'm walking down the aisle and whatnot. I wanted like a big festivities and whatnot, but God wasn't pleased because I wasn't living a chosen life. Like God has chosen each one of us, right? From before the beginning of time to be a part of his family, to be his child. But many of us are not living out a chosen lifestyle that he has called us to live out. So that really is the whole gist of the book. What are we going to, how is Christ going to find us when it is all said and done? Is he going to be pleased with our living? Are we living up to our God-given potentials? Are we following in his word what we should be doing? And when we do that, ladies, I promise you're also going to set yourself up to be found by your Boaz as well. Like we're supposed to make sure that we're ready for Christ, but in doing so, we'll be preparing also for our future husband, the right one that God has, prepared for us. I do want to share an excerpt out of this, if you don't mind. It says, "I also used to enjoy preparing myself for my man to come over. I have to keep it real. I spent a significant amount of time getting sexy for him. I had to make sure that I had matching bra and panties and nice smelling body wash and lotion that stood out from my usual scents. If I was really in the mood, I would light some candles, play some music to set the atmosphere. Of course, this would be a no bonnet kind of night. Well, a few times while I was preparing for my man to arrive, God asked me a fair question. Why won't you prepare for me like you prepare for him? Why are you putting so much effort into pleasing man rather than pleasing me? You would rather prepare to sin than prepare to worship." And that's really what God is asking all of us. Like it doesn't have to be a particular person. Anything that we put before God is an idol. So we really need to ask ourselves, like, what is it that I have replaced God with? Why I could be so much further in my career, in my life, in my relationships, if I just took the time and keep God where he's supposed to be, which is the center of our lives. That's the center of all of our relationships. That's being a parent, right? That's in your career. That's being a daughter. That's being a son. Like, God, I don't know how to do this. But God is the creator of all. He knows exactly how we're supposed to live and what we're supposed to look like. But we try to do things in our own strength. And we can't do that. And we got to get to a point where we're just like, you know what, God, I take my hands off the wheel. You teach me, you show me. And I promise you that I surrender all, and I'll lead. I follow your lead. I follow your direction. So I talk about the dress being, you gotta, it's salvation, it's holiness, it's getting over distractions. I know we were talking about turning off our phones, getting off of social media. It's time that you have to set and prioritize for God. It's even talking about healing and forgiving other people. A lot of times we're blocking our blessings and blocking our growth because we're holding on to something where we're not forgiving somebody else. And that person is going off and living their life and whatnot, and they're happy and married, but you bitter and wondering why you stuck. You stuck because you bitter. And a lot of times when we're not forgiving, it shows through our body. That brings on illnesses as well. Now you got headaches, you got high blood pressure, you losing weight because you can't eat, you can't sleep. Like, you're making yourself sick because you're not allowing yourself to go through the healing process. So there's a lot of things that I talk about in this book pertaining to preparing for the right one, being Christ, but as a result, you'll prepare also for your Boaz as well. So that is my book. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all can get on Amazon. It's a long title. So you'll find it on Amazon if you just type in Jazmine J. Lewis, and it'll come right up. And thank you, Levon, for this opportunity in your platform. You the bomb.
Oh, thank you so much. I thank you so much for that. You brought it about preparing for Christ as you prepare for for a man. You brought it. You made it real plain. You know what I mean? Real simple. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We got to put the same effort to God as anything else. I think I started following you. I saw you put some dope quotes. I was like, I need to follow. I'm like, this is really deep. I'm like, touching me. So actually, I bought a shirt. He said, I follow Christ, not crowds. And I wore it last week in my church, and when my children saw those the shirt, it was like, I was looking at the shirt. I was like, okay, so
great. Thank you.
A lot of times we follow crowds, we don't follow Christ. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You're trying to fit in, but you're already in with God. Why are you trying to fit in something that God designed you to do? You play
right.
So. So again, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your book, because I think it's very important for young women to understand that, and for men as well. Prepare ourselves to meet our wives and meet our Boaz. So make sure you're in the right frame of mind. Make sure who you serving. Who you serving, God, or serving Facebook, or you serving Twitter, or TikTok, or Instagram. Who you serving first. And if you spend more time on social media than God, that's a problem. That's a problem. Sometimes we need to meditate on God and think about being grateful for what you have, being thankful for what you have. Sometimes we don't. It's not like we're not grateful enough. So what God's done, we may be blessed, but every time we thankful for God, what we went through. We don't give ourselves enough credit sticking with God in the tough times. A lot of people giving up or quit, or giving it. Sometimes we gotta keep the faith. You gotta hold on to God. In the good times and bad times, still hold on to God. That's my whole thing. Sometimes, like, without God, I don't know where I'd be right now. Honestly, I would not be where I've been right now. Honestly, I took the leap of faith and put this together. Put this office council together. So, like I said. Thank you so much, for signing up at Office Cafe, and hopefully to connect. Because I know I can see some speakers of some events coming up, because you bring it, and I definitely want to learn more about your nonprofit. The Chosen Life for single women and the children. Because that's something that our young women need that as well, especially single mothers out here who are trying to get right with God or like stay in touch with God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. As help to get through that journey, because I grew up with single parents, so I know it was hard, it was definitely hard for me, but we made it through, and I'm definitely appreciate it. You know, we gotta get God's people, like your model says, get God's people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We was called. We have responsibility. We have a purpose. We just gotta find out what it is.
Exactly.
Yep. So, wow. So I'm truly amazed, blown away by today's Always Cafe celebrating 5 years. Our 30th one. I think this has been probably the most emotional one, most touching one for me. And I thank all the authors that took their time to say yes to me to doing this, you know, because you know, I never see myself doing at least 30 Always Cafes, you know, like, you know, but guys kept it going, you know, God, the interests have been flowing, you know, God, because like always I chosen, like, it wasn't me. God told me, go find this person, ask this person to open this cafe. It wasn't like God told me, ask this person to go on this cafe. That's like, so it was like, so there's a reason why people were putting certain Always Cafes, you know, put together, you know. So I thank all of you. I thank all of you for being here today. Also, we have a guest here. She's not offered yet. Miss Adrienne Connors Bay. Been a big supporter of us, me in the past couple of years. Recently, workshop. I want to see if she has any words she want to say to us, you know. So, is she able to? You know, no pressure, but
Pastor, brother, preacher, I am on the road. I'm on the road, but this was an awesome authors cafe. I think I'm going to declare that I will be on here one day.
All right. All right.
I haven't written my book yet, but I'm making that declaration. And I just was truly blessed. Jazmine, I want to say that you graduated from my alma mater. I was there when it was called PCB, Philadelphia College of Bible. And, well, it was just awesome. I was truly blessed. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm sorry, Adrienne. I'm sorry. I never see the Always Cafe. Hopefully next year, Always Cafe 35, you know, or even 34, 33, where the number will be. Also, I'm gonna get on to my wife being here as well. She has supported me for all the Always Cafes since we started dating. Then we got married and engaged. You know, I don't know if she had any words she want to say before we close out. You know, I'm gonna get opportunity for her to say any words.
Absolutely, of course. I'm my voice is going because I'm over here boo-hooing. I just want to say, of course, babe, I'm proud of you. And thank you guys for supporting my husband. It really means a lot. Like, he do beat himself up a lot. And I try to encourage him and tell him, it's okay. You have a team of people that's rooting for you. And with Tia, I think her name is Tia or Taya, when she said she was dead on with it. Focus, you know we love you. Focus is amazing. She helps us. But just know, babe, that you have a community of people that is rooting for you. And if nobody tells you, I'm proud of you, you know I'm proud of you. I absolutely love being Mrs. Howard, and I'm going to rock that name to the day that I die, okay? But congratulations on your 5th anniversary. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I can't wait. And I'm also agreeing with my sis that I will be an author soon as well.
All right, yes. Yes, that's my wife right there. That's my wife. Yeah, see, I told her she will have a book soon. I don't know what she will have a book soon. So, you know, her story is an incredible story as well from where she was to where she is now. So she got a story to tell, and I know she will inspire so many women and men as well. You know, of her journey too. You know, so it's definitely powerful and definitely worth. Oh, inspiring. I'm trying to think what's on here that I missed. Okay, I think I got everyone. Okay, I'm gonna show you miss anyone. So that wasn't on here. That was an offer. So does any offers have any final words to say before we close out?
I just want to say congratulations to all the authors and good luck to the soon-to-be authors. It's a beautiful thing to be able to say you're an author. This is a great club to be in. And the more of us that tell our stories, the better.
Go ahead, Shaunte.
I just want to say every author's cafe is amazing. Like, I mean, some of them, you start out doing one thing and next thing you know, you prophesying. I mean, some of them, it's just all of them have been amazing for me. I appreciate you, Levon. I appreciate you, Fatima. This has caused me to continue to walk in my purpose. I know what I'm called to do in this sense, but sometimes when you got a lot of other stuff that you can do and money is attached to it and you can do it well, sometimes you'll stay in that vein and God is pushing you. And just watching, Levon, your growth. And then when I think about like my growth from the time we met, this is just amazing. I love all the connections that I made on here. I'm pretty sure I'll be connecting outside of this with some others. So that's what I wanted to say. Just congratulations to everybody. First time authors. It's an amazing journey. I declare that you'll write more and more books. To those who have not written books, I just agree with you that you're going to write books and you'll be best-selling authors. And that's it. Amen.
Amen. That's beautiful. This has been amazing. I would look forward to work with each and every one of you in whatever capacity that I can help serve you. This has just been, I just want to break down and cry my own stuff. I'm trying to keep it together, right, Fatima? Trying to keep it together, but it's with joy, right? These are tears of joy. Many of us cry with so much pain. So I give us all permission to cry with joy, right? When you see overcoming and you see someone growing and getting over themselves and getting under other people, praise the Lord. Levon and Fatima got married. So we want to also aspire to be able to do that too, to get the love we want and have, the life that we love. So I dropped the information in there again for you guys. The next session is July the 31st. So if you're looking like, listen, I want to grow my business, I want to get on bigger platforms so that I can share my story, right? Because we had some powerful stories in here. Jazz, that's a powerful story. So to be able to really get in front of crowds and deliver powerfully, we got to do that. We're in the kingdom's army. So the world can't be sharper than us. They can't be dropping the nuggets and being more profound than us, because God's word is who we are, right? So we got to sharpen our axe, right? We got to make sure we're paying attention. We got to make sure that we're elevating our mind, because if you're not growing, you're dying. So if not me as your business coach, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get in another room. If you're the only person in your room that has a book, you need to get in another room, right? So you want to rub arms next to people who have already done what you've done and done it better. And that's how we all grow. And this is the spheres that Levon is putting us into. So we can all help each other in one way or the other. And I look forward to helping everyone that I can. And reach out to me. You can go on the Facebook and just reach out to me, Focus James. Hey, I'm interested. I do need a discount. I'm going to work with you. Focus. I've been blessed and highly favored. I got my PPP money. I didn't buy it all up on crabs and red bottom shoes. I could pay the full $3.99. Or I might even want to bless somebody. I hear somebody with an amazing story and I know someone that can really use your service, Focus. You might want to give them a scholarship, right? So I'm here for it all. Let's grow together. Back to you, hanging with the Howards.
Yeah, this was absolutely amazing for me. I was over here like, where is the collection plate? It was so many times that I was like, we need to sew on this word, Jesus. This is a word. I was like, Lord, if you don't say nothing else, you done said enough here at Authors Cafe. I promise you. But I'm excited to connect with each and every one of you guys. One thing I did not mention is that I definitely have a podcast. So I would love to have each and every one of you guys. You two, all first-time authors, soon-to-be authors, let's do it. Like, if nobody tells your story, you should be telling your story. I tell people, best quote Martin Lawrence ever said is that he was not waiting on E! True Hollywood to tell his story. He was going to tell it for him. So it is our time. It is our season. And I am excited to connect with all you ladies.
Anyone else want to share before we close out? I didn't want to miss anyone or that's still here.
If not, Levon, I would love, with your permission, if it's okay if I can close out and pray for us all, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
And let me know when. Unless I don't know if you want to make a few announcements or we ready to rock.
Only one quick announcement. Announcing on our radio show that we are doing a community day, August 7th. So we did give back to the community in North Philly. So you can help any way, let me know. I will give you details of what we need in terms of make that working, because the right son I worked with gave me the green light to have it. So so we are looking for vendors as well. Vendors, people to volunteer that day. It's going to be a little bit of time. I will give more details on that next week. So it'll be a fun, stress-free event. So let me know you want to help out, contribute in any way. Just let me know. So.
Ready to pray? All right. God, we thank you. We thank you for the mind to pray. We thank you to slow down and speed up and acknowledge your power in your presence, God. God, we thank you as we were all children and growing through our lives. You prepared us for this day. Many times we didn't know why and when and what had happened, yet you still are God on the throne, having mercy upon us, God. We thank you for the mindset to take the pain and the sorrow and the hurt and the trauma and turn it into victory. We thank you for Adrienne Kanye's big new vision for her life coach practice, Victory by Design. And this is truly a design that we all designed our life in a way to pour it out on paper, God, so that we can share our story with others and make a difference, God. We thank you for the opportunity to have this mindset. Many of us have had this experience where we saw family and friends be on drugs and alcohol, have many children out of wedlock, just turn our backs on God. But you gave us mercy and grace to still praise your name, still allowing us to have peace that passive all understanding, God. We got the faculties of our body. We might be too heavy, too light, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, but God, we're here and we're here able to praise you. And for that, we say thank you, Lord God. God, we ask you to synchronize our mind to your word, Lord, that your will be done on a daily basis, moment to moment, God. God, help us to regulate our words and our deeds together, Lord. We get a vision and we get distracted. We get hopeless, despondent, or feel less there. But God is God all by himself. And God, help us to fill our emotions and our intellect with your word so we can move past the stopping point when we want to give up, when we want to just sit down and be hopeless, Lord God. But you gave us a word to speak into people through being our author, Lord God. And every time we get a chance to speak, let us speak life unto people, God. Forgive us for any slowfulness, however long it took us to write our book or to become who you've been asking us to be. We ask for forgiveness collectively as authors. And we say yes to your will for our life, God. We say yes to the abundance of blessings because we can't give what we don't have. So we say yes to finances, God. We say yes to opportunities, Lord God, Jesus. God, we just thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace, God. We thank you for victory. Hallelujah. Glory to your name, God. God, Satan thought he had many of us and had us pinned down for years with depression and distraughtness. But God is God all by himself. And besides him, we don't need another. But God, we thank you for creating community that we can love and worship you, God. We thank you for creating community so we can grow more like you and have examples of what love is and patience and kindness. God, now we ask you to bless our leader of Arthur Cafe, God. You know his heart's desire. You know his secret prayers at night that he even doesn't share with his pastor or his wife because he just want to whisper it to you, hoping and praying that you'll bring it forth. God, we all touch and agree right now, God, and we ask you to bring it forth in the name of Jesus. His deepest secrets and desires to bless others and serve more community, whatever it is between you and your child, bring it to pass for LaVon and his wife, Lord. God, we thank you and forever be so grateful unto you. In Jesus' name we pray. Until next time, amen.
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 Amen. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for your time on this nice Saturday afternoon. You couldn't be anywhere else, but thank you for your time supporting me and I fully appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm truly grateful. My heart is full right now. I'm truly blessed, and I thank you. I thank you so much. Thank you, Focus. Thank you, Taya, Leah, Shaunte, Adrian, Melissa, Jazmine, Shaniqua. Like, I'm trying everyone's name. I'm trying everyone's name with my wife. I'm thanking everyone, because this has truly been amazing. Hopefully, this will spring forward to our next Artist Cafe in September. So, thank you so much, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Be safe. Hopefully, once the video put out, we share the video with people, to watch it, to be inspired, to be motivated, because someone out here need this video. Know it's gonna be all right. We're gonna make it. So, thank y'all so much. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday.
You too. Bye, everybody. Look forward to talking to all those that message me. Bye-bye.